Okay, guys, we'll be looking at the add-on modules of Fedena today. So the add-on modules are the extra functionalities that you have in Fedena. And the core modules are the basic functionalities that must be done before starting with the add-on modules. So let's see a few plugins that we have. Plugins are equivalent to add-on modules, and you can choose to enable or disable plugins when you go to your accounts panel. So the accounts panel, I've logged in into my accounts panel. I will click on the school for which I want to enable or disable the plugins, and I will go to this option plugins. I can click on edit, and these are the plugins or the add-on modules that you will find for your school. You can enable the ones that you want the functionality for in Fedena and disable the ones that are not applicable to you. So today we'll be looking at few of these plugins. Let's start by the data palette plugin. So when you enable the data palette plugin from here, and when you log in into the Fedena, the UI will be in the form of dashlet. So each box that you see here is known as a dashlet. And each dashlet is giving you some information about your institute as per the data entry that you've done. Since I've already entered some events, I've already entered the timetable data, so it shows up in the dashlet. And I can choose to see the dashlets which I want by managing the dashlets from here. So I can manage the dashlets that I want to see on the dashboard by checking the options from here. So this is the UI that you will get when you enable the data palette plugin from your accounts panel where you created the school. Let's see another plugin that we have, which we'll find when we go to administration and settings. So here we'll go to general settings, and when we enable the theme plugin, so if I enable the theme plugin from here, I'll be able to change the theme of Fedena by changing the color or changing the font. So these two options will come up when you enable the theme plugin in Fedena. Let's see the next plugin, which is Moodle. So Moodle is a learning management system that you can integrate with Fedena. To integrate, there are few steps that you must follow. You can go to moodle.org and here download the latest version of Moodle. And this version has to be downloaded on one of the servers. So once you download this version, you have to mention the URL of that server here. So that would be the IP or the URL /Moodle. And once you have done that, the functionality that Moodle will provide you is that when you admit the students into Fedena, the same students will be able to log in into their Moodle. So you need not create a separate login for Moodle as well. So this is about the Moodle add-on module. Let's see the next one, which is OAuth. So when you enable OAuth option from here, you will be able to see enable OAuth option here. So you can enable the OAuth option from the general settings, and also you have to do the plugin settings when you go to company. So in your account panel where you created the school, you can go to company, you can go to plugin settings and Google OAuth. So you can generate the client key and client secret by a series of few steps as per your Gmail account. And once you've done that, you can save it and also enable OAuth from here. Once these settings are done and once you have enabled the OAuth, the Fedena users will be able to log in using their Google account. So you will see that this option comes up and you can authenticate Fedena or the school for the Gmail account, and after the permissions are granted, you will be able to log in using your Gmail ID. Another condition is that when you have admitted that student or employee who wants to use his Gmail ID, he must have the same ID in his email field in the profile. So these are the few steps that must be taken to use OAuth or log in using your Google account. Let's see the next plugin that we have, which is mobile. So I can enable mobile plugin from here. And once this plugin is enabled, if I open Fedena, the Fedena school, in the mobile, the UI will be adjusted as per the mobile's interface. Also, the number of functionalities that you can do using mobile will be precise. So let me tell you the functionalities that you can do using mobile. You can also find this article in our support portal, which is support.fedena.com. The topic would be how Fedena can be used efficiently in the mobile version. So let's see a few functionalities that we can do when we open Fedena in the mobile version. The login screen would be clear and precise. You can view the alerts and the messages quickly. So the internal messaging system, which is the internal messaging system here, that also can be accessed using your mobile version. So you can send instant alerts or reminders. You can view the timetable. So this option is available for students, teachers, and the parents. You can view the calendar. You can take attendance directly from the classroom. So attendance option is there where you can mark the absent details of the students, and this is for the assigned teachers. You can create leave applications as an employee. So you can apply for leave to your manager. You can view the attendance details of the students, and you can view the fees due dates for the students and the parents. So these are the functionalities that you will find when you open the URL of Fedena in your mobile. Let's see the next add-on module, which is gallery. So when I go to my accounts panel and edit the plugins, I can enable gallery from here. If this gallery option is enabled, I'll be able to see the same when I go to collaboration and gallery. So here the first step is to create a category. So I'll create a category by giving a name. So it can be the name of the event for which you want to share the photos. So like this, I've created few categories already. And when I click on the category, I'll be able to add photo inside of this category. I can also edit the name of the category from here. And when you are adding a photo, you can make that photo available for a set of teachers and for a set of students. So the photo can be targeted for a set of employees and students, or for all the employees and all the students. We can give the name of the photo, and also the size of the photo would be 5 MB maximum that is allowed, which can be attached. So when I log in as any of these users, I'll be able to see the photos in my profile. I can only view them in my login. Let's see the next plugin now, which is OAuth 2 Provider. So I can enable the same by going to OAuth 2 Provider option here. And this option of OAuth 2 Provider would enable you to give access to third-party or custom applications that you want to integrate with Fedena. For example, the biometric or the RFID system. So if you have a hardware device for it, and also with the hardware device you will have a software that will understand the biometric IDs. There must be a custom application that will understand this software of RFID and translate the same for Fedena. That would mean, for example, if you want to mark attendance of the student or the employee automatically using the biometric device, so you must develop or buy a third-party custom application that will act as a medium between Fedena and the software of the biometric device. So let's assume that we've created or bought that custom application. Now we have to integrate it with Fedena. So we will enable OAuth 2 Provider from here, and we will go to Settings under Administration, and here we will see Manage Clients option will come. And here to register that application, we will click on New and give the name of that application. Any appropriate meaningful name can be given, and the redirect URI. This is the URI of that application. And whether this application is trusted by Fedena or not can be enabled by checking this verified option. So once we save this, you will see that for this application, when you click on the name of the application, you will be getting a client ID and a client secret, which is automatically generated by Fedena. Now that custom application that you have created must take in this client ID and client secret so that it will be able to modify Fedena attendance records in our example. So the client ID and secret is automatically generated by Fedena for this application that you just registered, and the custom application must take this, and then only Fedena will authorize it to change its database. And also using the App Frame plugin, when we enable App Frame from here, we'll be able to see that custom application as well in Fedena. So when I enable it, I'll be getting this option of apps, and I'll go to Manage Apps, and here I'll click on New and define the interface of that application. So I'll give the name as it should be appearing for the users of Fedena and the URL of the application. Also, I can choose whether this application should open inside Fedena itself or it should open in a new tab. I can select the client name that I just created, and who all should be able to view this application can be selected from here. So these are the roles that will appear, and we can enable or disable for these roles. So I've given the name of the application as ABC, and if I log in as any one of these roles, I'll be able to see the same when I go under Apps here. And when I click on it, I'll be able to see the interface of that application as per the URL that you have given. That application is generally a dynamic application which is reading and modifying Fedena database. This is just an example of a static application that I've integrated. Let's move on to the next add-on module, which is Big Blue Button. So I'll be enabling Big Blue Button from here, and Big Blue Button would allow you to have online meetings using Fedena. If you want to see a demo of how Big Blue Button will look like inside Fedena after you have integrated it, you can have a look at bigbluebutton.org, and here you can try out this demo. The same interface would be available inside Fedena after you have integrated Big Blue Button. To integrate this application, you again have to download the latest version of Big Blue Button, and it has to be downloaded on one of the servers. And once we have downloaded it, we have to give that server details when we go to collaboration and collaborate. So here I'll click on servers and register that new server on which I have installed Big Blue Button. And while installing Big Blue Button, you have to give these options. So you will be given a salt ID, which must be mentioned here, the URL of the server, and any appropriate name of the server. So once we've done with these settings, we can create online meetings by clicking on New. We can give the name of the online meeting, the server, so that is the one that we just registered, and who all will be the participants can be selected from here. So it can be a set of employees or a set of students, or both. We can also mention the schedule time, which is the date and the time. And when I log in as one of these members and I go to collaborate, I'll be able to see the activities or the online meetings here. So for this date, which can be a past date or a future date, I'll be able to view the online meeting details. I can also view the same on my dashlet if I've enabled the online meeting dashlet from here. So this is about Big Blue Button plugin. Let's see the next plugin, which is Pay. So the Pay plugin has been enhanced with Fedena 3.4.2. We can go to Administration and Payment Gateway. So this is the account panel where we created this Fedena school. And here we can create our gateway by clicking on New Gateway. So as per the account that you have bought with the payment gateway, you can mention the details here. For example, the name of the payment gateway can be mentioned, and the configuration fields, the variable fields, and the response parameters. So when you get an account with a payment gateway, these are the fields that will be given to you by the gateways. For example, for the payment gateway that I've already created, I have given the details like this. So the name of the gateway is there. The configuration fields which are related to this gateway are given. So these are the configuration fields that I have created as per the account that I have purchased with PayPal. The variable fields are given like this. And the response parameters are also given as per the account. So like this, we can integrate more than one gateway, which can be a custom gateway or PayPal, Authorize.net, Braintree, Stripe. So these are the gateways that are available along with the custom gateways, which can also be integrated. So I've integrated two gateways here. And after you have created the gateways in your accounts panel, you can use the same gateway configurations for the schools. So when you go to schools, click on the name of the school and you will see an option here appearing, which is gateways. So when you click on this, you can assign the gateways which this school will be using. It may be both the gateways or one of the gateways. For example, currently I have assigned one gateway for this school. which is authorize.net. We can assign both the gateway options for this school, but at a time, school can use only one payment gateway. So once we have assigned the gateways, when I log in into the school, I'll be able to see the same. So I'm going to the domain of the school, and when I go to administration, online payment and settings, I'll be able to see the gateway that I've configured in the account panel for this school to be appearing. I can use the same for student fee online payment, applicant registration online payment, hostel fee, and the transport fee of the student. You can also enable this online payment option for multi-school groups. So when you go to multi-school group, you'll be getting an option gateways, and you can assign the gateways which will be used by the group of the schools. So again, I have enabled authorize.net. And also within this multi-school group, when I create the schools, I have created 3 schools. For each of these schools, I can assign the gateways, which is authorize.net, which is already inherited from the parent, and its own gateways. To create an independent gateway for a school, we will log in inside the school, go to administration, online payment, and custom gateways. So here I'll be creating a new gateway. Now this gateway is only for this school. So if you want to create gateways particular to the school, you can create them inside the school URL itself instead of doing it in the accounts panel. So you have to click on new, and again you have to give the name of the gateway and the configuration fields, the variable fields, and the response parameters. So the way you enter the gateway details remains same, but now you are doing it only for this school. Earlier, you can do it as a general setting and assign it to any number of schools. So here I have created 3 gateways which belong to this school, and one of the gateway is automatically coming from the account panel because it is assigned to this school. So if I go into settings, I will see 4 gateways that are coming up. 3 of them are of its own, and 1 is coming because of the assignment from the accounts panel. I can use one of these gateways at a time, and I can enable this online payment for the 4 options that we just saw. So once we have enabled it and I have scheduled the fee for a batch, I'll be able to log in as a student or the parent of the student and pay the fee using this online gateway that is configured already. So I will go to my profile, and under more I'll be able to see the fees. So here I'll click on the name of the fee that is scheduled, and it is unpaid, and I will get an option to pay this fees. And once I click on pay fees, it will take me to the payment gateway that I have enabled. I have enabled Stripe, so it is taking me to that gateway. I can enter my account details for the payment, the card details as well. I can enter the other details related to the card, and I can make this payment. Once this payment is made, it will redirect you back to Fedena, where you have done the payment, and it will show you the status of your payment. So it shows like this, and along with the reference number, as a student and a parent, I can also get a receipt. So this is about the online payment plugin. Let's see the another plugin now, which is blog. So I can enable blog from here. So once I have enabled the blog plugin, I'll be able to create blog. And creation of blog is not allowed to the admin. So as an admin, I cannot participate in blogging. So I'll be logging in as one of the teachers or one of the employees, and I'll be getting the option of blog when I go to collaboration, and this is where I can create my own blog. To create a blog, I'll go to my blog and give the name of the blog. So I'll give the name of this blog. This blog name has to be unique because it is unique for each user. Once I've created this blog, I can create a post inside of it. So I'll give the title of the post and I can mention the body. The body of this post can also have a YouTube link. I can also insert a video, insert a table, and all these options can be done. And I can also save this blog as a draft or publish it at the same time. As other users who log in, they can favorite this blog post or comment on it. So I am logging in as another user now. And I can view the blog by going to blog, and this is the blog from this user. When I click on it, I'll be able to favorite this blog post from here and also comment on it. By clicking on the name of the user, I can see the further details. So this is about blogging, and anyone can participate in blogging. It is open to all the users, students and the employees. So when we are creating a blog post, we are not targeting it for a set of users. Rather, it is applicable to all the users. Now let's see the assignment module. Now as a teacher of a subject or as an employee who is associated to a subject, I'll be able to create assignments and give it to the students. So I'll be logging in as a teacher now who is associated with the subject. And again, this creation of assignment privilege is not available for the admin. So here I'll be going to academics and I have an option of assignment. Using this option, I can create the assignment. So I'll click on create new assignment, and here I'll be giving the title of the assignment. I can select the subject for which this assignment is created. So all the subjects which this employee is taking or is associated with will appear, followed by the batch name. So I have created a batch called C7. So it means that this employee is taking mathematics subject in C7A batch. So I am creating an assignment for that. The students, all the students of C7 batch will appear, and I can check the ones for whom this assignment is meant. I can give the content of the assignment. If the content is longer, I can also choose to attach a file from here. Then I can mention the due date of this assignment as well. So it can be mentioned when this assignment should be completed, so that this student will accordingly be notified. So we can create this assignment, and once this assignment is created, I'll be logging in as that student for whom the assignment is created. So I'm checking the user ID, the admission ID of that student. So I'm logging in as the student. And this student will be able to see the assignments that he is assigned when he go to academics assignment. So this is the assignment that we've just assigned to the student. On clicking on it, he'll be able to see more details. It also shows the due date and he can answer this assignment. And also give the content. If the content is longer, he can attach a file. And as the person who created this assignment, I'll be able to see who all have submitted the assignment and who all are yet to submit the assignment by going to this option, assignment, and selecting the subject and selecting the assignment. So it shows assigned, so the total number of students who were assigned, answered, and pending. So here we can see all these details. And on clicking on the answered, we can see further details. So as answered by the student, the details will come up here. We can accept this answer or reject it. If we accept the answer, the student will be notified that his answer is accepted. If we reject it, the student can choose to edit the assignment that he's already submitted. Now let's see the next plugin, which is discipline. So when we go to plugins, we can enable discipline plugin from here. And once we have enabled, we can launch the discipline related issues of a student if the students are complaining against each other. So to launch that complaint, we will be coming to academics and discipline. Here, we'll click on new to create a new discipline issue. We'll give the complaint number, the title of the issue, and the description. The trial date is the date on which the decision regarding this discipline issue should be taken. These are the involved participants or the involved persons of this discipline issue, which we can search by typing their ID or the name. So this has to be a student, complaint by, complaint against would be another student or set of students, and jury and responsible officials would be the employees. Jury would be taking decision on this discipline issue, and responsible officials can be the witnesses of this discipline issue. For more details about the discipline issue, we can also choose to attach a file from here. So this is how we can create the discipline issues. And if I log in as any one of these participants of this discipline issue, I'll be able to see the details like this. So it shows me the name of the discipline, when was it created, and the status along with the trial date. It also shows the participants, and I can comment on this discipline issue as any one of these users. First level reply on a comment is also possible. And if I log in as one of these jury members, I get an option here to close this discipline issue. So I'll click on close. I can mention the verdict, the comments, and the convicted students for this discipline issue. So this is how we can create a discipline issue. And this is how the employees or the jury would be able to take a decision regarding this discipline issue. Now let's see the next plugin, which is data management. Again, we can enable data management from here. And data management is used to manage any kind of data. So here we will go to data management by going to data and reports, data management. To create a new category, we'll click on new. For example, if I want to record which all employees are issued what laptops, I can create a category for that. So I'll give the name of the category, let's say as computer lab. I can give the description and the fields that are associated with this category. So employee ID is one field for which I will take the data in form of a text box. And computer name is another field for which again I will be taking the data in form of a text box. It can also be a drop down or a set of checkboxes. So once I've created these categories and I click on the name of the category, I'll be able to enter the data for each field of this category by clicking on new entry. So I will give the name of the ID of the employee, so that is the text box, and the computer name. And I can save this record. So like this we can do multiple entries like I have already done, which can be edited or deleted at any point. So you can also maintain the stock details like this. So the quantity, the availability of items, that can be maintained, and other categories which are relevant, you can create them. So data management is used for managing any kind of data. Let's see the next plugin, which is related to finance, which is the instant fee plugin. So from here we will be enabling instant fee, and now we will go to finance under administration, and here we will be going to fees, and we have instant fee. So instant fee is any kind of fee that is not scheduled or not planned. For example, if you want to charge the students on the damages that they have done, or if you want to take uniform fees from them, or if you want to take any trip related income like picnic or any outing. So you can create that kind of category by going to manage instant fee. You will click on add category. For example, for picnic, I have given the name of the category to be picnic. So in this category, I can add particulars. So I'll click on add particulars, give the name of the particular. For example, I can say transportation charges, which are included for picnic, and the amount associated with it. So like this, I have already created few particulars inside the picnic category. And now, if I want the student to pay for this category, I can go to pay fees option, and I can take this amount not only from the student but also from the employees and even somebody who's not a part of Fedena, who is the guest. So I'll search that user, click on the name of the user, select the category that he should be paying for. It can be picnic, it can be damages, uniform fees, and so on. So these are the ones that I've already created, so they come up. The particulars will come up like this. We can also choose not to take a particular from this student if the student does not want to pay for that particular. So we can enable or disable that from here. We can add a particular which is individual for this student by clicking on add particular as well. We can mention the payment mode and the payment note from here, and collect this fee from the student and also issue him this receipt of the instant fee that he is paid for. And this fee will also get reflected when you go to the finance report. So when I go to finance report, I'll be able to see the details of this instant fee that I've just taken under instant fee account. So this would be coming as an income, and when I click on it, I'll be able to see the further details. So which all students have paid for which category on what date and the amount that they have paid. Now let's see the next plugin, which is fee import. So we can enable fee import from here. And once we do that, we'll be able to see the fee import option coming when we go to fees here, fee import. The fee import option will help you assign the students who are latecomers to the fees that they should be paying. For example, let's say for a batch, you've created the students and then you've scheduled their fee collection. Now, if there is a new student who is coming up, that fee collection will not be applicable for the new student. To make it applicable for the new student, you have to select the batch. So I'll be selecting the batch like this. And the new student, for the existing students, this fee collection will automatically be checked, as you can see. So Kaylee is an existing student, and I've checked the fee collection, which is automatic. For this student, which is a new student that I've just added, after creating the fee collection, you will see that it is not checked. So it means this student currently is not paying any fees. So we can check it and assign it for this student. So once we assign it, now we can go to the collect fees option and take this fee from the student. So the fee import option will help you assigning fees to the students who are admitted to a batch after fees collection is created for them. Now let's see the next plugin, which is Tally Export. So the Tally Export plugin, we can enable it by coming here and checking this option. And once we do that, we'll be able to see the same when we go to finance. So you will see this Tally Export option coming up. Now you can manage your financial transactions using the Tally software. Again, the first step is to install the Tally software in a server. Once you have installed it, you will go to Settings and General Settings and mention the URL of the Tally along with the port number. So this is the IP where I have installed the Tally and the port number listening to it. Then, whenever I make a transaction in Fedena, any kind of transaction, it can be an income or an expense. And if I want to sync it with the Tally software, I can enable live sync from here and give the live sync start date from here. So this will allow you sync the transaction at the same time when you are doing it in Fedena. If you do not want to do it at the same time, you can also choose to do it manually by going to manual sync. So you can disable live sync from there and come to manual sync option and select the duration and schedule it for this duration. That would mean that for this duration, what all transactions have happened in your Fedena, those will be synced in your Tally account. So you can schedule it for a particular duration. So that is manual sync. You can also export the ledger details and import it in your Tally. So that option you will get when you go to bulk export. You can schedule an export for the ledgers that you've created for a particular duration, and you will be able to download them. And once you download them, you can upload them in your Tally software as well. We can see the failed sync for a particular date from here. So this is about how we can set the sync and do the general settings. Now, after we have done the settings, we have to create organizations as per what you already have in Tally. So the company name, as you have in Tally, you can create multiple company names. Similarly, you have to create the vouchers as you have in Tally. It can be multiple. And then you can create the accounts. This has to be same as you have in Tally. Again, it can be one or more. And then the final step is to create the ledgers. The ledger name has to be same as you have given in the Tally. And with the ledger that you are creating, you can associate a transaction category. For example, for this ledger that I am creating, whenever a salary is approved in Fedena, that amount will get in sync with employee salary ledger in the Tally software. We can associate it to a company, voucher and the account as in your Tally software. We can also associate a single ledger to multiple transaction categories from here. Or we can create individual ledgers for each transaction category. For example, I've created one more ledger, which is the student fee ledger, for the fee of the student. So whenever I am collecting fee using Fedena, that amount will automatically get saved in the student fee ledger in the Tally software. So this is how we can integrate Tally with Fedena. Let's see the next add-on module that we have. So that is the poll. To enable poll, we will come here and check this option of poll from here. And once we do that, we can take the opinion of the users on any kind of topic. So we will log in into our account and we will find poll under collaboration, and we can create a poll by clicking on new poll. We will give the question that we want for the poll, and we can mention the description. We can also give a set of answers for that poll. So I can enter more than 2 options as well by clicking on add another. I can also allow other answering. So anything which is besides the options that you are giving, you can allow the user to enter their own answer as well by checking this option. You can make this poll open for polling by checking this, and then you can select it for the batches and for the departments. So for the students and the employees who should be able to participate in this poll. And then you can post the poll. Once you have posted the poll, the employee or the students for whom the poll is created will be able to log in and view the poll by clicking on it. So like this is the poll, I'll click on it and I'll be able to select one of the options or write my own option from here. Clicking on it, I can click on vote and it will show me the results also when I click on it further. So we can see the results of another poll that we've conducted, which is taken by some users. So it will show you like this. This poll can be analyzed by any user. So like this, we can take the opinion of the users. We can target this to employees or to students or to both. Let's see another module, which is placement. So we can enable placement from here. And once we do that, we'll be able to create placement events, invite the students, approve their registrations, and declare their results. So we will go to academics and we have this option of placement where we can create a new placement by clicking on announce new placement. So I'll give the title of the placement here. Followed by the name of the company and the description. By default, the date would be 1 week from now. You can change it as per your requirement. The description can have the job description of the company as well. And here we can invite students who will be taking part in this placement by clicking on Invite Student, selecting the batch multiple times for who all batches we want this placement event to happen, like this. And then we can invite these students. So now I'll log in as one of these students and I'll be able to apply for this placement because I've been invited for it. So I'm logging in as one of the students for whom the placement event was created. And this student will be able to apply for this placement by going to this option. And when I click on it, I'll be able to see the details further with the job description. I can view the invitation, which will give me further details. And here I can apply for this placement event. And once it is applied, as the person who is in charge of placement, it can be the Fedena administrator or any employee whom you have given the placement privilege, he'll be able to see the placement details by clicking on it, and he can view the registrations. So he can see who all students were invited, from which batch, and whether they have applied for registration or not. If they have applied for registration, as an administrator, I can approve their registration or reject it. If I am approving, I'll be able to mark the student absent or present on the placement day. So today is the placement day that I have set. So I'm able to mark the student attended. And once I mark him attended, I can also approve his placement. Approving placement would mean declaring the result of the placement. That would also denote that the student is placed in this company or is recruited by the company. So if I log in back as the student, I'll be able to see the status to be placed, which would denote that I have been placed in that company. As a Fedena administrator, I can also check the reports of the students who are invited, who have applied, for whom the registrations are approved, who have attended, and who have been placed in this particular placement drive. Once this placement drive is complete, I can also archive this event so that it will no longer appear as an active placement. So this is about the placement module. Let's see the next module, which is tasks. So here I can enable task plugin, and when I do that, I'll be able to see the same under collaboration. So task module can be used when you want to give or assign tasks to the students or to the teachers. So as anybody with task management privilege or as a Fedena administrator, we can create a new task. I'll give the title of the task. So let's say I'm creating this task for the teachers for their report submission for the month of April. I can mention the description and also attach a file if it has to be done in a particular template. I can select the set of employees who should be filling in this report. And I can select the batch as well. But since this task is not applicable to batch, I'm not selecting it. And I can mention the start date and the end date of this task submission. So I can save it. And when I log in as one of the employees for whom this task is created, I'll be able to see the task and submit it. So I'm logging in as one of the employees now. And I can go to collaboration where I can see the tasks that are assigned to me. So it shows the tasks assigned to me with the latest task being on the top, When I click on it, I'll be able to see the details and download the attachment that was attached. I can post an update, which can be a partial completion or a full completion, and I can attach a file. I can also see my peers to whom this task was assigned by going to Assigned To. Now, as an administrator, I can see the update that is posted by that employee regarding this task. So here I can see the details of this task by clicking on it, and it shows me the updates that are posted by this employee. I can mark this task as completed if I feel that all the employees to whom this task was assigned have completed this task. So this is about task management. Let's see the next plugin, which is discussion. So here we can enable discussion. So we have discussion, and once we enable it, we'll be able to see the same under collaboration. So discussion is creating a discussion group, and you can create it for a set of employees, for a set of students, or both. So to create a group, you will click here on create group, and this option of create group will only come to an employee with the discussion privilege or to the Fedena administrator. So I'll click on create group, give the name of the group like this, and select the employees who will be participating in it, and select the batch if the batch students will also be a part of this group. So once I've created this group, I'll be able to see all my groups here. So I'm a part of 4 groups, so all of them come up here. On clicking on the group, I'll be able to see the posts that are made by the members of this group. I can also share my own data, my own post in this group. And I can also upload an image or a document describing this post. So once I post it, the other members of this group will be able to comment on your post. So you can see that discussion is different from blog in a way that it is targeted to a set of members, which can be students or employees or both. So this is about the discussion, which is a forum for comments on any topic that you want to discuss. Now let's see the next plugin, which is Document Manager. So we can enable Doc Manager from here, and enabling it would allow you to see option of documents when you go to data and when you go to collaboration. So let's see that. So here, Document Manager would allow you to share a document or share a folder with a set of users, which can be employees or students. It will also allow you to create a folder with upload privilege, where the employees can upload their documents. And also, using the Document Manager plugin, we can keep record of the soft copies of the students or the employees' information. For example, their ID proof, their certificates, or any such data. So I'll be able to do all this when I go to create, and I can share a document. So I'll click on document, and I'll select the department with whom I want to share it, which can be a set of employees. I can select the batch with whom I want to share it, which can be a set of students, and then the document can be attached and shared. So when I log in as any one of these employees and I go to Document Manager, I'll be able to see the shared docs. So this option here will show me the documents or the folders that are shared with me. We can also share a folder. So when I go to Create option, I'll get an option of Create a folder. Here is where I'll give the name of the folder, select the set of employees with whom I want to share this folder, select the set of students with whom I want to share this folder, and add multiple documents in this folder which can be shared. Again, when I log in as this member, I'll be able to see the same under Shared Docs. To create a folder where we can give upload privilege, we have this option of privileged docs. So this is where I'll create a folder, for example. So I'm creating this folder and I'm giving upload privilege to the set of these employees. So that would mean when I log in as any one of these employees, I'll be able to upload in this folder that is created by the admin. So let me show you that. I'll be logging in as this employee now with whom I've shared this folder. And this person can go to collaboration and documents, and under privileged docs he'll be able to share the folder that I just created. On clicking on it, he can add the document for this folder. He can also make the document public, which would mean sharing it with all the other users, or private, which would mean sharing it with the department, employees, or a batch. So this is about the privileged docs folder which can be created by the admin or anyone who has document manager privilege. And the last option that we have here is to create a user specific document. So to create a user specific document, we have to give the name of the folder that should be appearing. For example, let's say we want to keep a record of the education certificates of the student. So this folder that I have created is for the students, so I'm checking this option. So like this, I can create a folder which is for the employees only as well. So like, for example, if I want to create it only for the employees, I can say employees certificates. And I can check this option for employee and create it. Once I create it, I can upload the documents by going to user docs, searching the employee for whom I want to upload the document. You can see that the document or the folder automatically comes up. Click on it and add the document which is particular to this employee. So I am choosing an option and uploading it. Now, if I uploaded it for this employee, I can search another employee and I can see the same folder which will be empty again for this employee. So you can see that this folder will be particular to each employee. It will be different for each employee. So I can exclusively put the data different for each employee. Similarly, I can keep the record of the soft copies of student data as well. So this is about the Document Manager plugin. Let's see another plugin which is Google Doc. So we can enable Google Doc from here. And once we enable it, the first prerequisite is that the plugin settings must be done. So we must have done the plugin settings. And the second option is you have to log in using your Google account. When you log in using your Google account, you will be able to see this option which is Google Docs. So as per the account that you've logged in, it will map the drive of that Google account and it will show you the same data here. Let's see the email settings. Again, for the email settings, we first have to go to the school and do the email settings by going to this option of email. And here, as per the settings that are given by the SMTP provider in your country, you have to enter the details here. And once you've entered these details, you can enable the email plugin by going to the school, clicking on the plugins and enabling it from here, email alert. Once you enable this, you will be able to see this option of email when you go to collaboration, here email, and you can see the settings to check when all automatic email is sent from Fedena. So it will show you the details here. You can enable it for the student or the parent or the employee as per the requirement. For example, whenever a fee is submitted, if an email should go to a student and the parent both, you can check both of these options. So similarly for the other options that you see here. So these are when automatic emails are sent. For manual emails, you can send it to employees by selecting the department like this. So the recipient here is mapped to an email ID in his profile. So it will take the same email ID and send it to that. We can do the same for students and the parents of the students. And the students will get an option to unsubscribe from the mailing list. So you can check that unsubscription list here, the details of the students, and subscribe them back again. And this can be done for a particular date. So these are the add-on modules that we are going to cover today.